Hello everyone, and welcome to the second episode of Pokemon A to Z. This is the follow-up on our incredible first episode featuring the esteemed Kodamaran. And here with me today I have the absolutely phenomenal Draco. Say hello to the fans.
Hello everyone, we're back again for another banger.
Exactly. And now we've got a better sense of the structure for this series. Hopefully it'll improve. Again, as always, put any comments about feedback or advice on how we can develop a series down below. Please leave a like and subscribe. And today, we are continuing on to the second Pokemon in the alphabet. That is fully evolved in the format, Alomomola. And then we scroll to the bottom, and we look at the second from the top, which is Zoroark. Now, we may have just done the other Zoroark, but it's time for this Zoroark. So, on Alomomola, it is Pokemon which has access to 3 okay abilities in the format. Healer, which is a chance to heal a status condition on a partner Pokemon at the end of each turn. Hydration, which lets it heal its own status at the end of each turn, or Regenerator, which lets it recover HP 33% if it switches out.
It's cracked, you know. I've never used Aloe in doubles before, but I'm sure it's cracked.
Yeah, I can't say that I've done it once, and it was for a fairly specific situation, and that's probably also where it comes down here, but we're looking at all these different fully evolved Pokemon to try and determine whether there are, stronger use cases for them than, whether it's something worth looking at in draft. I'd say the main defining feature of Alomomola, which is the only time I've seen it used in VGC outside of fully gimmicky teams, is Wide Guard. I believe it is the bulkiest Wide Guard user in this format, though it may not. It was previously, but I think it's actually less bulky now than Garganacl.
Garg?
Yeah, Garganacl. Garganachi. Yeah. So, of the fully evolves, Garganacl I think is the only one that is comparably bulky, but it boasts a phenomenal 165 special defense, along with 80 defense, which means that it's very capable of taking physically offensive moves, and its 45 special defense paired with max HP means with investment it is fairly solid at taking special moves. Classically, it has access to Scald, which synergizes quite well with its good defense in making it very difficult to be taken down by physical attackers. Now it has Chilling Water, which is a little bit less effective at that same thing, but it still has the capability to sit on the field for a number of turns, and has some support moves which synergize with that, such as the aforementioned Wide Guard, but also Helping Hand, which can enable your partner Pokemon to buff up. I believe it has access to... no, it doesn't have Heal Pulse in this format. Okay.
It does? I could have sworn this one got Heal Pulse.
It definitely did, but it doesn't seem to now. It gets Misty Terrain, but there's also Safeguard, which has seen some niche usage, though not on Alomomola.
It's Icy Wind.
Yeah, Icy Wind is pretty good. It's got access to Light Screen, which can help deal with the fact that its special defense is not particularly strong, and it does have access to Wish to pass. Now, its attack is much higher than its special attack, which is always a bit of an issue for these more defensive Pokemon with how over-centralizing Intimidate is as a move, because it means that both of their potential options for offense are a bit flawed. The other thing I ran it with was Aqua Jet to proc Weakness Pulsing in Gen 7.
Oh yeah. Oh, Gen 7? I thought you were about this. See, that shit was crap.
And then the other thing I've identified that you might be able to do is maybe some like Calm Mind Baton Pass with Aqua Ring as well, just full on commit to trying to play out towards a specific win condition. I think the main thing that this does look at is trying to go with some fairly specific win condition. It has Soak, which can shut down Pokemon that are not Terra by removing their access to stab, as well as synergize with having an offensive Electric or Grass type. Yeah. And then, but yeah, beyond that, Helping Hand is I think its main way to support, and then you can theoretically Pain Split into a partner Pokemon to heal them up. So yeah, Icy Wind, you're looking at being pretty effective. Helping Hand, you're looking at being pretty effective. Wide Guard, you're looking at being pretty effective. And I think that is most of where it is. There might be some Pokemon that you could skill swap with, though I think this is probably better with a Regigigas than it is with a Slaking, because it still appreciates having its turns. And ultimately, I think, unless you're very concerned about the current format having access to a Paraspam or or really significant Wisp Pokemon, or theoretically like a Moves, a Spore is also pretty annoying for healer. I think Regenerator is probably your best, but then I think after that it's healer, because you don't really mind as much whether Alomomola is being statused.
Yeah, but the worst that really can happen. A Toxic? We sure got Toxics over here, bro.
Well, very few Pokemon do have access to Toxic in this format.
Exactly.
I mean, like, it's a decent number of Pokemon, but I don't think many of them are willing to, like, really take use of it. I think maybe you could see some set with Clodsire using it, and then Glamora's Toxic Spikes, but they often are only giving you one layer, especially when we are paired with what is a middling special attacker rather than a physical attacker, primarily. And then that brings us on to Zoroark. So we mentioned a bit Illusion in the previous episode, but it allows you to appear to be the Pokemon in your 4th slot. I think it probably synergizes best with combos, which are very strong if not stopped, but are a bit prone to being disrupted. Some other things that I've thought of subsequently that you might be able to bluff as, definitely something that comes to mind, especially with this, obviously 4X Psychic Weak Pokemon, something like a Toxicroak, but also Pokemon like Urshifu who want to get Psychicked, but maybe more Toxicroak because it is neutral to Fairy. And then Pokemon that are weak to Dark. I was thinking maybe pairing it with a Farigiraffe, or another Pokemon that has an ability that it makes you immune to Priority, might work to dissuade people from disrupting you, and then maybe having something like a Talonflame or something else with Tailwind on the team. Maybe Kleavor is an interesting Pokemon in the current format.
I like Kleavor, that one's cracked.
So yeah, I think that the main thing you want to do is to have a specific combo that this enables you to set up, while not sacrificing the tempo that the support Pokemon you're bluffing being is quite good. So yeah, definitely having like an offensive Tailwind Pokemon, which is just not to say something that is just like a Tornadus or the other guy, Talonflame, but maybe more something which is designed to then abuse its own Tailwind to great effect. Might be the best option, though not that Tornadus is particularly bad at that. And Fake Tears is an okay support move. It does have Confuse Ray, which you can use for support options as well. Taunt is decent. It's got Foul Play, which gives it consistent damage, as well as Knockoff for utility. And then it's got a number of offensive options, including both Marcy Plot and Swords Dance, I believe. Yeah. So you could theoretically use it as the main Pokemon, which is abusing its support.
There's tons of things you can do with all these mods, and I like them all.
So, yeah, definitely a major concern for it would be opposing Urshifu. Something so that's like those are sort of the things that you can do with Zoroark or with Alomomola. I mean, we saw last turn that putting Zoroark into an offense team is not always super consistent, because unless your opponent calls your bluff wrong, your opponent not calling your bluff and then your bluff working doesn't do that much, especially in the high power of the current format. So definitely keep that in mind, especially because I think we saw Life Orb Psychic doesn't pick up Urshifu, and this one's a lot more likely to take a CC. But like, it synergizes well with Ghosts, Psychics, and Poisons, I think. Whereas I think the other one was specifically good for fighting and Ghost weaknesses. I think you probably want the kind of composition that a Flutter Mane is very tempted to click Shadow Ball in front of. Though I don't know how much you do to Flutter Mane. without Bitter Malice.
Fears Zoroark.
What was that, sorry?
What are main fears Zoroark?
That 38 to 45 is not amazing. But hey, does it get Thunder Wave? No. Gets Trick. Do you get Icy Wind? It does not get Icy Wind. It's Hex. Of course it does.
Does it get Wisp? Does the other one get Wisp?
The other one does get Wisp, this one does not get Wisp. The other one was not very good with how we were using it, which was just with a Life Orb offensive set. I think maybe giving this like a more support-oriented variant might be the best way to go. And then there is... Does it get Shadow Ball, actually? You could run you could run Terror Ghost. That's not going to help. We'll just get hit by Shadow Ball. So then you kind of want to think of, is there a specific combo that this might be like really good to use Zoroark to help set up, and then Alomomola as kind of like a helping hand spam after, or even theoretically Wish? Does it? No, it doesn't want Ally Switch in this format. I think a few of the new Pokemon have Ally Switch. Cresselia. Cresselia. Just Cresselia. Iron Leaves isn't even legal in this format. Yeah, because Ally Switch has like a genuine synergy with Wish, where you can protect your partner Pokemon and then Wish into their slot. So yeah, there's definitely... It seems to me like a composition which has a very high payoff for surprise is maybe the thing that you're best looking at. Like, I love Annihilate, except for the fact that it is weak to Fairy. Maybe...
Just Terror it.
Does Terra... the Zoroark? But you could just Terra the Annihilate. How does Terraing the Zoroark help?
No, I meant Terror the Annihilate, not the Zoroark.
Oh yeah, exactly. Because you want to be something that's weak to Ghost, Psychic, or Dark, but then you don't want it to be something that's weak to Fairy. Hooper's not legal in this format because it is a mythical. Though it is a new Pokemon, which fills that category. It's not very good, but yeah, it's fine. It's got very high special defense. Could be Ceruledge. Ceruledge is definitely a Pokemon that appreciates that sort of support, that longer game sort of structure. And you could even theoretically toss an Aquajet on this and then run a weakness policy on Ceruledge. Have it be like Bulk Up, Bitter Blade, and Sneak with Protect. What do you think about that sort of structure for a follow-up?
I feel like...
Zoroark at Brutal Swing? No.
No, it doesn't. I'm actually looking... You wouldn't believe me if I told you I was actually looking at that just now.
No, I can believe it.
I believe the...
of course, non-Dark types on Brutal Swing.
The Aquajet set on the Ceruledge, I think it put in a lot of work. You know, not a lot of... You see an Alomomola next to Ceruledge, you think, oh, maybe the Alo's like going to Wish or like knock me off or something. But no, Aquajet's Ceruledge, and now you have to take a hit from a boosted Ceruledge, and it's just like, what do you do? Yeah, I think it's just scary, big threat overall.
For sure. I think with Bulk Up and Ceruledge, could do Chilling Water. I was thinking it could be Chilling Water, it could be Light Screen. Chilling Water is probably better. And then just be Terra Dragon, because maybe in some situation you're sitting like 1v1 against an electric type, and you know somehow your Alomomola beats it, but then why not Terra Ground? Well, because you're weak to grass, and then the dragon does resist your other type. It's just that you're not going to beat the grass type. I don't think you're super likely to beat stuff in general. It could be Citrus, it could also be Covert Cloak, though I want to consider that on Zoroark. Also want to consider, like I said, maybe something like Farigiraf or Serena to bluff with Zoroark. I think that there are a lot of positions where that bluff can put a lot of pressure on your opponent's decision making. I also like to be Terra Ghost for extra damage on Shadow Sneak. How do you feel about this sort of vague structure of the team?
I think that after you reveal the Aquajet on the Ceruledge, I think the Zoroark disguises like either or the two and catch them off guard because they try to play.
Well, on ladder it is best of one.
Oh yeah.
But in terms of a broader structure, yeah, I think in like a proper open team sheet draw, like a format, if you're taking this to a tour, Zoroark's probably better in that format, and Alomomola's probably worse. We could do something else to try and support that like setup, and then maybe go for another setup option, maybe something like a Shell Smash or like a special one. Is it just Poltergeist that's special? Torkoal, of course. Yeah, I don't know if I love necessarily the Ghost. Is there a decent Nasty Plot Psychic in the format? There's Ace Elf. Is there a faster one? Ooh, Spec is interesting. Nasty Plot Weavile, of course. Could be Taunty as well.
I like Spec.
Alright, so this would be kind of like your... my thoughts on Spec is that it kind of loses to the same thing Ceruledge does. But I'm fine with it.
Slow.
I don't really care.
Not slow, but like slower than Flutter Mane is what I mean by slow.
I mean, we could run Flutter Mane. We don't really have like a pick one mon. Right?
Right.
And it'd just be like a booster set. Moonblast, Shadow Ball. Maybe like Mystical Fire with Terrafire. Or, no, that's weak to the same thing Ceruledge is. Maybe a Thunderbolt variant. Isn't terrible. And then I think probably the last thing we want is something which... Like, I think this Snarl, Anchor, Flamethrower. Maybe Protect is bad. I think this can go a decent ways towards supporting... Probably Flutter Mane a little bit better than Ceruledge. Flamethrower's not that useful to support Ceruledge. Thunderbolt is probably... It doesn't want Thunderbolt. Psychic. Psychic actually covers, Grass Knots, I think, 100. But no, Psychic would be better into, a Shifu. Which is definitely a concern. And now this doesn't take that, Searching Strikes very well, but maybe like an Alomomola that we bluff Zoroark as, because I do think Alomomola is mostly good as a follow-up. To a setup Pokemon, and then have this, and then something with Fake Out. That's maybe something you get more towards the middle point of the draft. Like, I think Iron Hands is probably a bit much. Don't think Willow makes sense. Could be Tinkaton.
I like that. I was thinking Tinkaton. My bad. Tinkaton.
I think Tinkaton can force Poku, like, pretending to be Tinkaton can definitely force play concessions out of opposing players. So regen, I mean, we've been seeing a lot of Rocky Helmet on Amogus, and we've been seeing that for a good reason. So my thought process is like, this is like your round 1, this is your round 2, and then you pick up something else, then yeah, this is like a solid round 4, this is a solid round 5, though this could be like a round 3, round 4, and then Zoroark and Alomomola you can easily get towards the back of a draft. And on this team, we definitely want the Alomomola. Attack investment's not that effective unless you're trying to invest in physical defense. We definitely want that defense boost. We want that attack to be minus, because we want to Aqua Jet ourselves. And then you want to juice that special defense, because you only get dividends on your investment for HP more than defenses if the HP is less than double the defense investment. So like at this point, it would be more effective in terms of having physical defense for me to invest into HP, because maths is weird. So probably something like this, and then just kind of like put a 4 in both. Yeah, it's a little bit fun. Something like that.
Yeah, I like that. Makes sense.
And then maybe just slap the leftovers on this, or a Pinch Berry. Pinch Berry's probably better. Because I do think... No, we don't have another citrus user. We had a Pokemon for 2 seconds that had citrus, but we don't anymore. And I think Spore is definitely like really strong for this team. Healer is nice to deal with, like I said, if we do get paralyzed, or it covers a burn into Tinkaton, but it also covers spores from opposing Amoonguses. The Regenerator is also an option. Spore, Smoge. Well, let's see what Amoongus is running on ladder. Spore, Rage Powder, Pollen Puff, and Protect, and Smoge. Yeah, I think that this is probably one where we don't care as much about having access to protect. I think that the Spore, Clear Smog, I just said not that. the Spore, Smog, Pollen Puff, Rage Powder is probably the best of what we're looking. What do you reckon?
Shit.
Then I think...
Looks good, honestly. I don't have any...
I think we maybe want to reduce the special defense on this one more. Definitely want to be minus speed.
Yeah. 30. Alright, fast.
Yeah, because we don't have Tailwind. If we had Tailwind, then a faster Amogus would make sense. But as it stands, we may as well have that better out into opposing Trick Room. No, we should definitely just invest more in special defense. So the Amogus should be able to take special moves pretty well. Let's see what terrors they tend to run. This does not tell... Oh, I forgot that it stopped telling you what terrors people run. Oh gosh, it's been a little while since I've used an Amogus, and I cannot remember off the top of my head what the best terrors are. Maybe just go Steel for laziness purposes.
Good terror, like...
And you were supposed to be Terror Electric.
Steel's a good one, normal, water.
Water is okay, for sure. Terra Steel doesn't cover fire types at all, and like Heatrans in the format. You can do the funny Terra Blast as well. Yeah, because currently we are using Shadow Sneak to beat Heatran, which is why I like putting that putting the Terra Ghost there to increase the damage out of that. And then you definitely just want to, I think, max out the bulk on this Sarah Ledge, especially on the special defense side. But it does need some defense investment, and then you probably want... What's the good speed break for base 85s again?
I think it's like the max it can hit.
No, I remember there's like a specifically decent breakpoint. We don't have Icy Wind on the Alomomola, so it wouldn't be for something at -1. And we don't have Tailwind, otherwise we could just run speed for like a booster main or something. No, we don't. We Sneak anyways. I guess what are we worried about with fire types? Maybe we want to be faster than like some of the bulkier variants of Dragonite. We don't have Wisp, so that would be likely taking a little bit out of our special defense, and then I think hitting its the 117 is that point where you're generally going to be hitting faster than most bulkier variants of Dragonite, and it's really only the choice bandits that are going to be outspeeding you. We shouldn't be too worried about... I guess Booster Energy does advertise that we're not Zoroark, but that's fine. We can just not tear at that. And Mold Breaker also does, but... you know, that happens. And then this one is just like Fake Out, Gigasun, and Taunt, is it? Could be Helping Hand as well. Someone gets dual screens. Someone's good.
Really good. Great type. Good move.
You're
Good
very
move.
quiet again.
Oh, hold up. Is it better?
Yeah.
Alright, good typing, good move. This mon's like Whirlpool, it's just... Yeah, this mon actually have good stats and you can crack it.
We could just go to like Terra Dark and then click knockoff as the other guy, and then maybe Slam Thunderwave on it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I thought I put an Argoff Berry on you, and then I wanted the Citrus Berry on Tink.
I could pretty nice too.
So we didn't wind up going with that priority control, but it was less relevant because Sarah Ledge and Flutter Mane are ghost types, so we don't need that as much. I'm definitely at the point where I am still getting used to what the good options are in terms of we definitely want to juice up this damage where we can. We want the Fizz Def, we want speed, we want a little bit of... I mean, we might as well put the 4 in special defense, but I think it's probably more speed that we want to push up a little. And then maybe have a little bit more damage. There's definitely a lot of innovation going on in the meta currently. I just like boosted main just because it is something which, like, with the Alomomola helping hand, is pretty decent. How do you feel about this team structure more generally?
I feel like it's maybe a little passive, but I think it gets the job done. Like, it gets the point across it's trying to make, it get to the cross pretty good.
Yeah.
I feel like
I think only Alomomola is consistently passive.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, kind of the concern. You can't stop Alomomola from being consistently passive, as far as I'm aware. It should be called A to Z episode 2. And you're on the account?
Yes.
Cool. Let's continue the ladder. Last game, we were as Abomasnow and Zoroark, and I think in trying to use Zoroark too much, we conceded a lot of position. Trick Room, eh? Encore is... Maybe it's like a... So I think we want Zoroark to bluff being Flutter main. And then maybe we lead Ceruledge next to it. And then just try to, like, ramp through it with bulk ups.
Yeah.
So Zoroark, Ceruledge, and then our best other option to disrupt Trick Room is probably Amoonguss. Or maybe Tinkerton. No, Amoonguss is quite good. And then have Flutter main in that last slot. So, if they do lead... I guess this lead's quite weak into Roaring Moon. I hadn't factored it in, but Roaring Moon and Hydreigon are pretty difficult for our Ceruledge to deal with. Okay, so let's see what they go for here. They they shouldn't know anything specific based on what they've just seen. I want to Encore the Grimmsnarl because it's pretty likely to go for a screen and I don't want it to get another one up. And then maybe Terra goes the Ceruledge and click bulk up.
I'm okay with that. Makes sense. Then a lot.
Ah, the flinch is annoying. Also, we didn't get the weakness policy because that... I could Encore, but that doesn't do anything. So I could Psychic, I could Snarl. Snarl's probably good because it punishes a switch reasonably well. And then just jam a Bitter Blade, maybe? I'm not sure.
What does he have in the back, you think? Maybe like...
He's only got Gastrodon that resists fire. And Snarl's pretty good into that. I could switch. I don't like my switches though. So I think it is just Bitter Blade into that Grim slot. Oh yeah, Iron Hands is fine into Bitter Blade. Not amazing. So Zoroark is kind of dead. But I think that's fine. Because we can just go into Flutter main. That bulk, is that an Assault Vest variant? I didn't copy the team. If I haven't clicked in time, just click Flutter main. Though I plan to click in time. I am not succeeding at it. Let's just go Flutter main. No, it was Iron Hands and Ceruledge. Ceruledge is at -1, and then Iron Hands is... It's useless sometimes. 14, okay. Yep, Flutter main.
Flutter main.
They haven't used Terra. We have.
What do you think its Terra type is?
I'm not sure. I want to just Moonblast the Iron Hands, to be honest. But I think Protect and Bulk Up is fine. Yeah. Protect and Bulk Up definitely wound up not being too bad. I think taking the weakness policy maybe was correct. I kind of want to just switch into Amoonguss, to be honest. And Bulk Up again.
Yeah.
No, they went for Flamethrower. For Flare Blitz. That's a really bad play. In that case, I might just
So
Shadow Ball and bulk up again. I don't love that.
yeah.
So I could Moonblast the Iron Hands. Do we ever do that?
It'll kill the hands for sure. But...
No, we do think that they're Assault Vest, but... Okay, they went Grim. Interesting. They went for Terror. And let's see if they went for Terror Blast. They're Citrus Berry. Okay. Yeah. I think that means you're right, and it would have picked up. I'm not sure what Grimmsnarl is going for here. Just another Reflect. I think in that case, we can just Thunderbolt and sneak the hands, and it should not be able to get another move off. But we could also double the Grim in case it protects.
Kill the hands.
Oh, wait, it lived because of the thing! That's not great.
I feel like, yeah, we could have switched into Amogus.
We definitely could have switched into Amogus.
It's okay. The hands is dead this play, even though he's probably gonna click Reflect.
He's already got Reflect up.
I mean, yeah.
I kind of want to just Spore and bulk up. I expect the hands to do something weird. Could always Rage Powder and bulk up as well.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing.
Well, no, Spore on Grim would have put the Arcanine to sleep. But yeah.
And Rage Powder there. I mean, that was the best play.
I mean, this is just going to get Flare Blitzed.
Goodbye.
Yeah, well, I said Spore. Spore would have been good. Though it might be Goggles. I'm just definitely going to Bitter Blade the I'm definitely going to Bitter Blade the Iron Hand slot. So I guess I'm best still just going for Spore here.
Ouch.
I mean, it took a lot of recoil. I'm pretty okay with that. They don't reveal what their last is, which makes me think it loses to Cerulege.
I'll be like Cress.
I reckon Sneak probably picks up Arcanine from here.
Nah, Reflex is still up.
I am Terrored though. And at +1. And I mean, the Arc is quite low. Arcanine Hissway behind Reflect. That's level 100. I'd like it to be level 50. So it's 21 to 26. So you're correct. So I could bulk up again. But I could Bitter Blade the Grim as well.
I think. Wait, do you outspeed? Yeah, so I think you should Bitter Blade the Grim and Sneak the next turn. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense from my opponent. But it's fine. I mean, it's not. No, I definitely, I guess, wish that I'd gone for Sneak. I'm not sure.
No, I feel like you can Sneak now, right?
My opponent's just going to do... Yeah, but it doesn't KO because I'm -2, -2. -1.
The Reflect isn't like more than that.
Of course, they're set up as well. Great. Yeah, I should just have... Yeah, Snuck would have done damage there. I mean, I need to bulk up here, and then I need to... I want to sneak the Grim, but it's just... it's just going to Farting Shot. So I guess I Bitter Blade the Cresselia. I guess I should just keep Bitter Blading it. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, they've definitely won from here. That did 9%.
That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, I'm done. I think there were a few turns that we maybe under-executed. Definitely could have gone to Amogus on that Iron Hands. But yeah, like, it's just over. They have the ability to cycle me down 2 stages. Do you think this was an issue in team, or just an issue in play, or an issue in matchup?
I think it was more so play and matchup. The point that the game-defining play was us not going Amogus on the Iron Hands and allowing it to just kill the Flame.
Yeah. Also, not like going Terra turn 1 was bad because we had the weakness policy, and I should have just taken it.
Yeah.
We never switched the Cerulege, which is pretty cool. The Cerulege isn't is okay. I wonder if the Shadow Sneak maybe needs to be Shadow Claw, or maybe the Protect is bad. It could definitely be the Protect is bad.
Do we really need to protect?
Doesn't seem particularly good in this matchup. So I think that we want to bluff Zoroark being a Moongus. Or do we just want to lead Fluttermane and Tinkaton?
Well, what are his potential leads?
He's going to lead probably Tailwind and something else. And then just have like a Moongus and Ceruledge in the back.
Yeah, I feel like you can bluff a Moongus.
Oh, sorry, that's not what I did at all. I just want to Terra Electric and Thunderbolt the Torn, and then like I could fake out the King Gambit as well. I could just Moonblast and go for. I could also Protect and Thunderwave into King Gambit. Could also switch into a Moongus and Thunderwave King Gambit.
What would I do? Well, do we really want to Terra turn one? I don't think so.
The Steel Resist is nice. Losing the Speed Boost is a bit annoying. I like going into a Moongus and going for thing. I also like Protect. We only got 10 seconds.
Protect.
Protect and Thunderwave.
Nice. Para.
It's very slow.
Okay, I think now.
So I don't really have a great damage intuition into King Gambit in this format. Especially they went for Iron Head, right?
Yeah.
It looks like they're very likely to take not very much from us. So like I mean Terra Electric is nice because we do get that Steel Resist, right? And then we can just Thunderbolt and knock into Torn.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't see what the Torn does besides switch out here. Yeah, that's cool. He loses his Torn here.
Wow, the Terra Electric Thunderbolt doesn't even pick up the KO. I thought it would be like putting it to Sash. It is Mental Herb. We could have faked it out. Wouldn't have achieved much, but you know. All's well and such. So I want to Protect and then Thunderwave the Fluttermane.
That makes the most sense. Wait, no, we're taunted.
I cannot Thunder. I can still Gigaton the Fluttermane.
Sure.
Could knock the King Gambit as well, but
sucker.
Our opponents went for the funny double. It did not work out for them. I don't really understand the way that they led in this game. Okay, that's bad. I need to go, I think, Flutter into a Moongus and just knock the King Gambit.
Yeah, that's cool. That's nonsense. I think we pretty cool in this game. Wait.
Okay, yeah, they don't even have the funny thing.
Why didn't we Terra the Thirst? We could have just killed it with Fluttermane, right?
They were in Tailwind.
Oh.
I mean, I just want to Rage Powder and Gigaton the Urshifu. Nah, I'll Gigaton the King Gambit. I'll respect it. Okay, let's see if this one-hit KOs Moongus, which I somewhat doubt, but who knows, you know? I could Pollen Puff into Tinkaton as well, but yeah, I don't feel the need to. So I think we just Rage Powder and then continue with our slamming damage into King Gambit. Or we could knock the Urshifu. Probably knocking the Urshifu's got good utility. We expect the Ceruledge to be able to get through King Gambit. And yeah, taking 2 extra turns of Helmet here, plus the knock, means that it's definitely going to get Snook.
Mystic Water.
Yeah, not a shocking outcome there. So we go Fluttermane and Ceruledge. I mean, we are probably more than happy for them to sucker us, but I think we go for Bulk Up here. And then just Moonblast.
No, if you
okay.
If you snuck the Shifu, you couldn't have. He can't sucker you, right?
Yeah, but it was going for Jet. I expected it to. I mean, like the sneak would have been the second thing to hit me, right?
No, the sneak goes before the sucker punch.
Yes, that's true. Sorry, my thought process is more that I wasn't expecting it to do anything by hitting into Urshifu, and if I bulk up, I cover for more plays.
Makes sense.
Because they could have definitely just suckered the Fluttermane, and I wanted to play around that. And besides, we got a weakness ball seal. Okay, so that's a win with this team where we didn't use either of our main Pokemon. Hey, they're using the funny guys. I mean, I kind of like just going Alomomola and Fluttermane as a lead here, just for the helping hand.
Yeah, they have the less coolers on work, so.
Fluttermane and then Cerulege and Moongus last two.
Yeah, that's cool. Have we brought the owl yet?
No. We've played 2 games and it didn't come to the first one or the second one. Mouse 8B. So I just want a helping hand and Moonblast the Mousehold.
Get rid of it. Are you gonna Terra 2 or are you just gonna...
I don't think we die to an unboosted Rage Fist. We could Jet and Moonblast as well. If we were Terra Fairy, I would Terra Fairy.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I like the
Faint.
Faint?
You know what? I'm level with you, Chief. I did not expect it to go for a nasty plot. Oh, they have the Zoroark. I forgot they could do that.
Faint?
So I think I want to just Wide Guard and Protect. Sorry, Wide Guard and Moonblast. I could Chilling Water the Annihilate and Protect as well, because we know what Pokemon it is. Do you reckon we die to a +2 Bitter Malice if we Terra?
Yes. No, yeah. 135 split death, but 55 each. Calc that.
I don't want to calc it, that's your job. I'm the one who's got the video up. 50.
The audience. Wonderful damage count.
Sorry. It's not specs, but it could be Life Orb, and it's +2. Of course, that's how that works. How is that? Why would they do that? 78. It looks like we probably would. So we Chilling Water here, and then we probably still just Moonblast the Mousehold. The fact that Chilling Water doesn't do enough is definitely the concern.
Oh.
No, we didn't even Terra.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know what item it was, so it didn't seem reasonable to risk. I mean, we have to go Moongus now. I think we've just lost. Why didn't this happen when I did this? We could bring out a Moongus or Cerulege. Just a Moongus, right?
Moongus, yeah. Or they gonna bring out Crush. Hell yeah.
Oh, that's probably the Gogglesmon. I mean, they're just gonna Bitter Malice the Moongus.
Yeah, most likely.
Yellow Molar's passive, that's the problem. I mean, I think I just do this and Spore the Zoroark. It clicked Helping Hand. So it is still just gonna Bitter Malice the Amoongus. It didn't KO. If this turns out to be the Gogglesmon, then, you know what? We don't do anything. We just... I should have switched into Cerulege. That would have at least advanced the game position. I think I should switch into Cerulege now. I should be Chilling Watering the Zoroark and then bring in Cerulege. I could have jetted as well.
We had Clear Smog all along.
Oh, that's right. Oh, he got the first time Wake. I forgot that was legal. Oh no, they got the first time. They got the Wake off of Lunar Blessing.
Yeah.
There's no way I live.
There's no way in hell you live.
I Protect and switch in Amoongus. Okay. So now we Rage Powder and we just hope a bit of Blade crits, basically.
Watch this.
Oh, they didn't Helping Hand. Okay, that's cool. Let's see if they went for Trick Room.
Oh,
okay, yeah, that's not doesn't need a crit. I forget how weak this Pokemon is sometimes.
Watch this. They're gonna click.
It's gonna click Annihilate. The Annihilate's gonna click the funny Annihilate button. I mean, we just go into Alomomola and bulk up.
Got this in the bag. Gonna click that. Oh,
They went
fire.
for Terrifier.
Reach fist. Yes, yes.
So I think we
Yes.
switch back in Amoonguss and Protect.
Wait. Does Jet get him in range of sneak?
We surely would Helping Hand. Like, surely Helping Hand would do more there, right?
Maybe.
What's it called? What the hell is it called? Annihilate.
Annihilate.
Level 50. It doesn't have a Reflect. We want a Helping Hand boost. It looks like it might pick up. It looks like it doesn't pick up. I'm going to go Amoonguss and Protect. And then I'm going to Rage Powder here and hope that they aren't the funny move. And then I'm going to Bitter Blaze the Annihilate.
That's cool. I don't think the crest can do anything to us.
I mean, I just need HP on this Cerulege, right?
Right.
They went for Helping Hand. Okay, so are they Goggles? No.
Oh,
The Rage Fist did not KO.
You could do the same thing.
It's leftovers. No, I think that they're probably going to Protect and go for the spread healing move. Which I think means that I need to bulk up.
Or you could just Rage Powder and sneak the crest.
Yeah, I can do that. Then why am I Rage Powdering? Shouldn't I Pollen Puff or whatever? Oh, they went for Moonblast. Interesting. So Helping Hand Sneak.
Yes. But you can Terror, though.
Into Annihilate, to be clear. Oh, I haven't Terrored? That's funny. Dude, I should have Terrored last turn. I would have been able to kill the Cresselia. We have Cresselia at home.
The end. Goodbye, Cresselia.
I should definitely... Nah, I mean, this should pick up. Bitter Blade is stronger, even with super effective. Not with Terror, not with Terror. Terror makes it slightly stronger. The plan is real, right? So what are our takeaways from this episode? Should you draft Alomomola? Or, like, what sort of team should you draft an Alomomola on? I think is really where the question is, right?
Team that has a Mon or multiple Mons that puts enough pressure that you can hide how passive Alomomola actually is.
Like, yeah, you need Pokemon that are high enough pressure and that Helping Hand is enough support for sure. So you want them to have pretty comprehensive offensive profiles. I think Fluttermane and Cerulege both have really good dual stabs. Let's look at where it is on the VBLS Season 10 tier list. So, that's the wrong... That's the wrong browser. Should you pick Alomomola? I would argue that, Zoroark, there's probably... I don't know why they're showing it's taken. I think they must have done a mock draft, which is still showing up. Come on. I mean, I assume Alomomola is around, like, 7? We haven't seen it yet, and we're at 8. But my computer is lagging because it's trying to load sprites. It is below 7. That's probably a good sign. Alomomola, okay, it's below 5. If it's a 2, absolutely. It's a 2, okay. Alomomola is an incredible Pokemon for 2. It is, like, I mean, we've seen it take hits, and like its healer, we saw it take, what was it that we saw it take in this? No, we didn't see it take anything this game, because all it took was 1 hit. But like, Alomomola is a Pokemon that is very tanky. We didn't bring it in on a bit of malice. It does have that support from healer, as well as you can do regenerator. It does have Calm Mind itself, so you could theoretically try and Calm Mind sweep with it, though it doesn't have a great move to sweep with. But it definitely can like go into a late game with just a Wish, Protect, Calm Mind, and then I guess Chilling Water set.
Yeah, it gets the job done.
I think if you're looking at picking up a last Pokemon, and you have 2 points, I would absolutely take Alomomola for it. Like, there are a lot of conditions in which it isn't obnoxious and that your opponent may have to respect it. It's got one screen. If it had both screens, I think it could genuinely be taken, like, at 3 points. I mean, there are definitely other good Pokemon in 2. I'm looking very firmly. I think Quillen is a really good Pokemon. Riolu is a really, really, really good Pokemon, and I'm going to suggest it should not be in 2 points. Shellos is proven to be really good. And Drizzle, I think, are the mons that you should definitely take it before it. And then you want to consider it at a similar time to something like the Frogadier, or maybe like a Dragonair, or I suppose a Bronzor if you already have a Trick Room setup. It definitely has a lot of decent factors about it that make it worth considering. That Helping Hand is nice, and that Wide Guard is... You know, there are definitely teams who are like... If you're particularly weak to ground, just slapping Wide Guard on your team makes you less weak to ground. Not to mention the fact that this does sit on a lot of ground types.
That is correct.
And then, should you draft Zoroark? I don't like Zoroark very much. I think this one is a lot worse than the other one, but it does have, I think, a better use case than the other one. The fact that you've got Stab Snarl, and then you can, like, alternatively follow that up with Encore, so we use that to disrupt Grimmsnarl. Even if we did ultimately lose that game, I think that Encore put us in a position where we were playing in that game at all. And should you use Weakness Policy on Ceruledge? No, just run Clear Amulet. Clear Amulet is so much better. Clear Amulet would have won that game a million times over. Ceruledge is really good. So, with Zoroark his way at 15, it is a bit better than Zoroark at 8. I don't think it's that many points better than Zoroark at 8. I would probably consider picking Zoroark up at 8. I don't think it's a great Pokemon, but if you have something like a Flutter Mane, or some other Pokemon that is really weak to Psychic, Ghost, or Dark, and you know you are interested in something in that speed slot, you know, just having a fast Snarl Pokemon is okay, and it does have a bunch of other disruption options. Ultimately, I think we came up with like a relatively reasonable team structure. Definitely something I think I could see someone actually drafting, especially because Amoonguss often goes late in VBL. 15, that's pretty. Amoonguss at 15 is pretty good. And that's what, 24 for Flutter Mane? I would absolutely take Flutter Mane at 24. Then what was the other ones? Tinkaton and Ceruledge. I mean, I think Ceruledge is incredible, even if some people are not as big fans of it. Ceruledge at 14 I would definitely take. I don't know what Tinker is. It's at 13? 13 is very good for Tinker. I'd probably consider taking Tinker up to like 15. It's definitely worse than a few of the mons in this tier, but it's definitely better than a few of the other mons in this tier. And then, yeah, like I think it's pretty similar to like Ariana. So, all said and done, I think this was a pretty successful episode, and we managed to shorten down the time a lot. One, by not having to invent the episode, the format altogether, but also by just having a team that worked better and thus was able to play less games because it wasn't losing. I think we used both Zoroark and Alomomola pretty effectively. I think a regen core of Amoonguss, Alomomola, or if you get Taunty maybe. I'm not sure if there's other regenerator mods. There's Slowbro, but that doesn't work because it's water type. There's maybe the Galar slows. Maybe Cyclozar, maybe Cloth are worth considering it with. Probably Toxapex is better in some of those situations because you benefit a lot from having Toxic Spikes. But if you've gotten Slowbro or Slowking, which I believe they both learned Toxic Spikes this gen.
They did.
Yeah, so if you have one of them, maybe it's worth picking a Alomomola because having a Pokemon which is, you know, a good like Chili Reception bot, a good Trick Room bot, but then also gives you the opportunity for you to just like bring an absolutely degenerate Toxic Stall team against a team that doesn't you can force to switch pretty well with your offensive options, can absolutely be pretty strong. I definitely think there are situations in which you want to consider Alomomola, and I think that the downside of Toxapex as a Toxic Spike Staller is that it is a Pokemon that you don't want to bring with like 3 other mons often, whereas Slowking is a Pokemon that can very easily fit into a Trick Room game, but then give you the opportunity to switch up to a Toxic Stall sort of game. So yeah, definitely worth considering taking Alomomola. Probably worth considering taking Zoroark. You know, we've seen players use it well before, though I personally am not massive on it. And I would definitely consider taking this one over the normal Ghost one, because I just think that it doesn't have the chops for how much more it costs. 105 is not bad speed as well. Also, Sash is probably a very good item on it. Alright, I think that's all of the thoughts that we had.
Yeah, that's about it for real.
And I'd say go check out Draco's thing, but he doesn't have a channel, just occasionally pops into videos on mine. So there'll probably be more of those. So subscribe to check out, and that's all for a much shorter episode 2.